Hey guys, so let's talk about the economic collapse warning here in 2026. Possibly, I want to tell you about a prophetic dream that revealed that it's gonna be worse than the Great Depression of the 1930s. Okay, so today is the day that Yahuah has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So back in 2021. Okay. I was getting dreams, I was getting visions, I was getting a lot of prophetic messages of things to come on war, on diseases or pestilence, and on economic failure. Okay. Famines, etc. So in this video, I want to talk about this particular prophetic dream or message. And then I want to talk about how to prepare for it. I also made a video on how to prepare for the famine maybe 2 to 4 videos back. If you want to check that out, please look at that. It's very important. Trust me, your belly is going to thank you. And if you are responsible for anyone, children, babies, husbands, wives, elderly parents, pets, etc., they're going to thank you as well. Okay. If you use wisdom, knowledge is nothing without wisdom. You can have all the knowledge in the world. If you don't apply that knowledge and turn it into wisdom, it means absolutely nothing. Okay, so let's apply the knowledge and let's prepare. Okay, spiritually and physically as well. All right. So, in this particular dream, all right, I had a dream that my car was being torn. My car was being torn up. It just slowly started, like the door got torn off, and then the other door, and then the trunk flew off. And it was just like my car was getting torn up. This beautiful brand new car was getting torn up. Okay. And so by the time I basically didn't have a car, when I woke up from the dream, I had the understanding that this represented the economic collapse of America. Okay. That we was going to go into a depression worse than the Great Depression of the 1930s. Right. So I already had knew about the famine that we were going into. Famine so bad that it would be cannibalism, people eating their own family members, their own blood, their own children. I want you to think about that and meditate on that hard. That if people are that desperate at a point, would they be desperate enough to eat you or your children? Would they be desperate enough to rob a store? Would they be desperate enough to rob you and take what you have? I want you to see that you don't just wake up one day as an uncannibal and say, think that my 6-year-old leg is looking real good. You don't do that. There is a progression to this, okay? So people will steal, people will kill, people will go into survival mode, all right? But not only is they going to do that, they're going to be stealing more than food because, like I said, it's going to be an economic collapse. There will be no jobs. AI will be taking over the jobs that there are left. Okay, a lot of businesses went out of business in 2020, for that was the leader's job to bankrupt them, and the leader's job is still to bankrupt people. You have to do a whole nother video on that, which I probably have to put that in Patreon. Okay, just you know what I'm saying. But anyways, yes, that's their job. That's what they work. That's what they were called to do, to bankrupt this corporation called the United States of America. Okay. So part of that, we have tariff wars going on. We have the oil wars going on. We have just word wars going on. We have so many different spiritual wars going on that yeah, we're gonna be in for it. Okay. Um I'm so sorry, y'all. Something just grabbed my attention real quick. I apologize. So this collapse is going to be serious, okay? Because what are you going to do if you can't pay your rent, your mortgage? What are you going to do if you can't pay for food, lights, water? What are you going to do if you can't have insurance for your car, get gas for your car, which that bill is going to be going up even more. By the way, I was driving, I was in like Uber or whatever the other day, and the lady said 4.29. She said gas was just what 3.90 something 2 days ago. I was like, whoa, so gas is climbing up there. When gas was 89 cents. When I got my first car, I was 18 years old. And I remember $1 worth of gas, baby, took you a long way. Ooh, we're far from those days, aren't we? And that was in the 90s, okay? So, anyways, back to the lecture at hand, guys. I kind of drift. I don't have a script. I drift. So this economic collapse, it is coming. And so you need to pray, you need to be in prayer, you need to be fasting, you need to be asking the Most High, what do I need to do prepare for this? Some suggestions that he gave to me, or recommendations he gave to me, and which I did follow. Oh, absolutely. Was things to for food, water, medicine. And when I say water, you can never have enough water. And I tell you, you can get cases and cases and cases and cases of water. I actually had a big pool and I kept that buddy clean, baby, chlorine down because, baby, if we have to use this and use one of them life straws, which, yeah, get a life straw too. Okay. Um, for each person in your family, get a couple for each person in your family. Okay. But that'll cleanse and purify water. All right. You can get barrels or buckets or things to fill up water. They actually sell these things. Some people actually buy like those big 40-gallon trash cans, the plastic or metal trash cans. What they do, okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, sorry. But what they do is they'll fill it up with rainwater or and just let that, I don't know how much I trust that rainwater, but baby, it's better than no water. Okay. So I don't know because they got some special ones too. I seen on Amazon that's like made for water that's healthy and all of that. But if you do it, definitely look into it to see how you can make it and make sure that it's clean and pure. Again, if you get one of those life straw thingies though, then that will definitely help you. Maybe I'll put a link down below or something to show you what I'm talking about. But if you have even muddy water, you're drinking from a lake, from a pond, this stuff will cleanse and purify it. If you're, doing that, a lot of the survivalist people, the campers, people that like to, be out in the wilderness, mountains and stuff, they carry stuff like that. So yeah, I've definitely checked that out. But, and I bought them for myself, so I'm not telling you nothing that I wouldn't do haven't run myself, and I didn't need to use it, but, you know, and while we're speaking of that, something to do is to use these things that I'm gonna tell you about just to try one and see how it works before, you're in a situation where you need it and you don't know what you're doing, or you're wasting time, you're wasting resources trying these things out. So water is very important because you can actually live without food for quite a long time, but water, you ain't gonna make it long at all. So make sure you get ways to purify your water. They have those water purifiers, like those little pills you can put in the water and stuff. Like I bought a lot of them off of Amazon as well. Um, and just make sure you have good, clean water. You can take jugs of water, those mason jars of water. You can fill up containers, your orange juice, your milk containers, fill them up with water. Back in the day, now I live in Florida, so we are always preparing for hurricanes. So what I would do year round is when we would finish a jug of milk or orange juice, I would just fill it up with water and put it down in the cabinet, right? And I would have about 30 or 40 of those bad boys just in case we had a hurricane. And this was like, before I was into buying water because I thought it was like whole scam and fraud. Because I was like, dude, I think that's really regular water and they're charging you to buy a bottle of water, but you pay a water bill, which is crazy in itself. So why not just fill up your own? Anyways, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, so if you don't want to go out and buy water bottles and you buy water at the house, man, go and fill up you some milk jugs and some orange juice jugs and apple juice jugs and whatever jugs. And back in the day, the little mayo. You know what I'm saying? Look, just get creative with it, like our ancestors did. Okay. So water is very important. Get into that, but then food is important after that. So you want to get staple foods. You want to get like your rice and your beans, potatoes, pastas. And for those of you who like the meat, and baby, I like the meat. You can what is it called? You can can meat, dehydrate meat, and you can buy it canned, like the chicken breast in the can, the tuna in the can, the salmon in the can. Make sure you have a can opener, or maybe three. Okay, that is not electrical. Right? You don't have to plug into a wall just in case the lights go out because the lights is gonna go out. Make a video on that as well. But Blackout, Jay-Z album called Weekend. It's a reason for that. It has multiple rating levels that have multiple meanings as well. Anyways, so make sure you have that. Make sure you have sweets, especially if you have somebody who has a sweet tooth. Don't forget to get your snacks. It's the most important thing. But I'm gonna tell you something. You cannot go into this thing and have vices like you're a sugar person and you don't have your sugar. Okay. So you have kids, make sure they have comfort foods, they have snacks. I mean, you need to space it out, but make sure that they have little things that brings them back to normalcy, because when the situation that happened is going to happen, it's already going to be stressful. And these will be things that will comfort you, comfort foods, and it will bring you a little bit of normalcy to have a sneaker spot. It'll be a little bit of normalcy to have a little Debbie cake. It'll be a little bit of normalcy to whatever it is that your kids or what you enjoy, or like a bag of Lay's potato chips. Even though lately, honey, learn how to make this stuff at home. Like, listen, homemade Lay's potato chips with regular potatoes, y'all. So delicious. You got to get into this stuff on YouTube. But anyways, so yes. Um, in addition to that, make sure that you have stuff like your condiments, because yes, you can have these basic foods. And I just named a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? That is cheaper. That is, oh, definitely if you can have bread, or if you know how to make bread, things like flour, things like sugar, um definitely get stuff like that. And I'm saying this because when prices goes up, and let's say you don't have a chicken, you don't know somebody that has chickens that lay eggs, then when you do go to the store and buy eggs for $25, then it won't hurt as bad because you already got the flour, you already got the sugar, you already have all the other stuff. So yeah, the $25 eggs ain't gonna be so bad, right? um so make sure you have staple foods, your potatoes. You can make anything with potatoes, a lot of things with beans, rice, breads, cornbreads. I'm I made some bread before. It's a lot of YouTube videos. As a matter of fact, this is the Passover right now when I'm making this video. Well, depending on your belief on when the Passover is, should I say. Um, and I've been looking at videos on how to make unleavened bread. And listen, it's all on YouTube. You can learn how to make croissants, you can learn how to make biscuits, you can learn how to make bread that you sliced for sandwiches. It's listen, YouTube is your friend, okay? In addition to that, make sure that you get things like your salt, your pepper, your spices, your seasonings, because you don't want boring foods at the same time. Make sure that you get your sugars, like I say, your honeys, your if you're a ketchup person, a mayo person, a mustard person, whatever it is, get those things like that. Barbecue sauce, things like that. Meat. So if you have a deep freezer, or things like that, make sure you get meats. Go and see if you can get them in bulk, as Sam's Club, Costco's, what's it called, BJ's, the big places, Restaurant Depot. I just found out about that because we have one here. And Restaurant Depot, actually you can go in there the first time for free. Okay. So if you want to check that out and see if you have one near you, go and check that out because I have some really good deals on all kinds of things there, foods and stuff. So go to places like that to get things in bulk if you want to do it like that. Of course, you save more money. In addition to that, seeds, 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 seeds to grow a garden, seeds to grow herbs, seeds. Learn how to grow a garden, please. I made a whole video about that in the family. Go and reference that video. I'm not going to go into deep details. I did on there, but get you some seeds, start planting so that you can eat from your own. Listen, I've done this and it feels so good looking at your garden and just looking at the work of your own hands. And you can feed your own self. You don't have to go to a store, and you can sell this stuff as well, barter this stuff as well. Grows over and over and over, especially if you get the non-GMO seeds. It grows over and over and over again. It keeps just reproducing itself in the right season. It just keeps on giving and multiplying. That's how y'all knew what he was doing when he put seeds down here, okay? So learn how to grow a garden as well as herbs, like your chamomile, your lavender, your rosemary, just all of these different herbs, because number one, it makes your food taste really good. It spices up some bland food, right? Mm, Sorry, guys. Isn't it true? Sorry, guys. It is natural and it also is fresh. You know what you put in it. Um, so there you go. And it makes medications. Okay. So, do the rosemary. You can use it to grow your hair, for example. Lavender, you can use it for a tea to go to sleep if you're a little anxious, you're a little sad, a little, so learn about stuff like that. Get books on teas, get books on herbs, on what they're for, get books on trees and things that's in your area that they still haven't killed them all, honey, because most of these trees, they're male. Now they're not female, so they don't really grow anything. I remember when we used to have pecan trees. We called them the Chinese plum trees, dates. We had all kinds of trees around here back in the 80s and the early 90s. And I'm sure we had more than that because, Florida is a state of the oranges, right? So we had all those things, and over time they just took them away. We used to have dandelions. Dandelion is a very powerful plant for medicine. Very powerful, especially for like high blood pressure, stuff like that. Listen, I'm not a doctor. Go and talk to a doctor about all this I'm talking about, okay? Do your own research, etc. But this stuff just used to be plentiful, and they took it all away. You can't find not one dandelion anywhere now, and they used to be everywhere. Literally, the seeds would blow off. I remember as a kid, we used to blow them because they used to be these white little flowers, and you blow them. You're supposed to make a wish on it. Don't do that, y'all. But that's what we did back then in the day when we ain't know no better. And then you blow the seed, and your wish is supposed to come true. But then the seeds would blow somewhere and then grow more, and then you would just they were everywhere. And then they turned into this yellow, beautiful flower. But anyways, yes. So look at what is in your area, what grows, what can be used for medication, what can be used to be eaten, and things like that. Okay, so there you go. Medication. Make sure you buy medication if you have prescription meds, insulin, things for high blood pressure, things for life-saving things, psych medication, etc. Even if it's psych medication, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but see about getting deliverance from some demons. I ain't trying to be funny. We all got demons. I'm not hating, okay? I'm just saying. But if you take medications for things, make sure if your doctor, because at the time when the Most High gave me this message, my doctor had gave me like a year's prescription, so I had to just pay cash for it because insurance don't do that. Number one, they don't pay a year's worth of every month. You have to go and get the prescription, but if you pay cash, you can go and get it all at once. So that's what I did. I just paid cash. I went and got like 7 or 8 months worth of whatever was left, I just got it and was done. If you can do something like that, do that for your most important medications, especially before these things go up in price. Because I think Ozempic is the only thing that they're trying to give you for like a couple of dollars nowadays. And we know there's a plan and an agenda behind that. All right. Okay. So, anyways, so get your medication, go to the store. And I'm gonna make a video separately on this, but Most High told me medications was gonna run out. So make sure that you get your Tylenols, your Advils, your headache medication, your pain relievers, your cold medicine, whatever it is that you and your family take. As far as medications, as far as bandages, as far as first aid kits, things like that, get those things. Alcohol, witch hazel, all of that stuff. Get stuff like that. Basically, you're going to be on your own. That's what I'm trying to say. So the things that you're getting now that cost $5 in about a couple of months, it might cost 7, 10, 12. You want to get this stuff now because it's going to be a point where they're not going to have it available or it's going to be so high it's out of your reach. So, you might want to go ahead and get those things now. You want to definitely get stuff because we know that there's going to be viruses, there's going to be cold, so you're going to want to get stuff to boost your immune systems. And once again, there's herbs, there's fruits, there's certain things that's natural that you can take to do these things. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But some people like to go and buy the vitamin C, the elderberry pills, things like that. Okay, you better go and do it now while you can, right? Also get all the other medications and things, like I said, first aid kits, band-aids, alcohol, things, cleaning things. If you like Lysol, I remember when 2020 hit, I couldn't find Lysol anywhere. I couldn't find bleach. The good thing though is I knew it was this channel I watched, Lovely T, and she had some of her viewers, some of her subscribers live in China. And so they were going through the 2020 thing back way before it hit America. So what she did was she made a video, and she was such a blessing when she made that video, and she was telling us what was coming to America. I went out and I mean I bought so much bleach, so much Lysol, so much stuff to clean up with. Yep, I even did got the toilet paper, but baby, I always been one. Like I say, we live in Florida, so we always, my mom and my grandma, they always was ones to always have more on hand than you needed to have. It's normal to me. It's normal to me. But when she made that video about that thing, that 2020 thing, I said, you know what? Let me go. And I bought so much bleach. I remember that bleach was only $2.99 back then. Now it's almost $10 where I live, the same size. But anyways, and that's what I'm saying. You want to get things now because stuff is just going to continue to go up. And I told people back then, I was telling people, buy this stuff now, buy this stuff now. Go and get canned goods now. Buy this on 30 and 40 cents for a can. Go and get your green beans, your corn, the peas. Go and get these canned goods right now. Okay. And I'm telling you now, go and get these canned goods right now. You know, if you're a canner, if you but if I know if you're a canner, if you're a prepper, you ain't even probably listening to this really because you already know what time it is. You know how to dehydrate, you know how to can, you know how to preserve, you know how to save, you know how to grow a garden. Um, so if you want to learn how to do those things, learn how to do it. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there on this stuff. But other than that, go and get your cans. Go and get your stuff. Okay, get it now. Okay. Get a lot of seeds. Lettuce seeds. Lettuce grows in about 6 weeks. You will have a full garden full of lettuce. You can eat all the salad that you want to eat. Jazz it up the way you want to jazz it up. Get different types of lettuces, They got different types. Try that, like romaine, iceberg, forgot what the one I love, the bib. I love the bib lettuce. They got all kinds, excuse me. Get the fancy lettuces, because you're getting a lot of seeds and they keep reproducing. Get you some cucumbers, get you some tomatoes. Look what's in your area to see what grows the best in your area. Different places is different stuff at different times of seasons. Um, Watermelons, apples, fruit, lemons, limes. If you're blessed enough, a nut tree. I was looking at somebody who went to Brazil and she bought a house or rented a house or whatever there in Brazil, and she has so many fruit and nut trees. My goodness. This is what I would love. I would really, really love that. She had bananas and fruit I never heard of before, okay? But so yes, get these things as well. What else? Then the Most High started telling me, learn how to fish. Okay, now my mama and daddy used to fish, honey, so but I couldn't stand it. It was like it's nasty, it's disgusting. The flies is I hated going to the fishing pier. But whatever. So I went and got fishing poles, I got fishing nets, or crab nets. No, y'all don't get on me about the crab nets, okay? Because if you hungry and you see a crab or a lobster, and we have plenty here in FLA, Florida, then look, I'm gonna get a shrimp. I'm gonna get a shrimp. And I ain't shrimp still. But you just have to ask for forgiveness, okay? But he did say learn how to fish. Some people can actually put a ton in the back and fish like that. He said learn how to hunt. When learning how to fish, learn how to gut your fish too. Learn how to scale your fish. You can watch videos. All of this. You can watch videos. Google is going to be your friend, and YouTube will be your lover. Okay, so do that. All right, and now you got AI. Use it to your advantage. Okay, you can. Um, so what else? He said learn how to hunt. So that means learns how to use things to hunt with, which they do have ranges, they have classes, they have woods. Okay, you can do that too. And look, again, once again, you go to YouTube and you can see if it's places in your area, what people think about it, blah, 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 how it works, some ranges. Well, most of them, they charge money. Go and see the cheapest one. Quasi, quasi. All right. Um, what else? Oh, groups. There are prepper groups. I forgot the name of the one in my town. The name of it, I think it's called meetups, but you can look for type of use of code, your city, whatever. All these different type of meetups, everything from arts and crafts to how to play the piano to, the survivalist people, all right, teaching you how to make honey from bees, how to, how to grow a garden, protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like really protect yourself. Um, things like that. So you can do these meetup groups where these people meet up like once or twice a month and they learn some skill. Okay. Um, what else I'm trying to think? Oh, he told me to get tents. He told me to get which I did. This stuff I'm telling you I did. Things to cook with. So I got barbecue grill. You can get barbecue grills. You can get the little stove things that um the little stove things that you put the propane. It's like ethanol or propane, some type of a gas, like spray looking container. Butane, I think it is propane, butane, something that you just easily hook it into the little one eye and you can cook on it. You usually cook this stuff outside. Now you read the box good, but the one I got, like I was really surprised when I finally tried it out. Like I said, try all this stuff out before you in a situation. It was like, oh, use outside. And I'm like, dang, so if it's a rainy day or something, then and work it out because I thought you could cook. I thought you could cook with the thing inside, but no, you gotta cook outside. Get generators. Now, depending on the type of generator, it has several different type. I had a solar panel one, which is one of the best ones if they're gonna give you the sun. Okay. If they're gonna give you the sun, that's good. Um, it's quiet. It makes no noise. No one will be able to find you. They're more expensive. But like I say, hey, listen, it's not that loud, that loud noise, from that generator. That everybody knows about the gas one. Plus, gas is going to be a lot of money, and you're going to have to continuously fill it up. So people are going to know you have it. And I'm just saying. But then I had another generator. It was much quieter. I forgot what it was called. Um, it's forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's an inverter or something, but you could hook a refrigerator to it. You could hook some serious appliances into it, okay? Some serious stuff. Again, it has to be outside. All generators have to, be outside. That solar generator I had, it didn't, but it was kind of expensive. That thing was like almost $1,500. I got it off of Amazon. I can't think of the name. So I didn't have to have that outside. Um, and I could charge the panels, the battery. I could charge the battery with solar panels as well as with the thing in the car, the little thing that people use for a lighter sometimes, or they use to charge their car phone or whatever. You can charge it with that, or you can charge it with the house outlet. So I'll probably put the link down to that stuff so you can see what I'm talking about. Also, for the blackout when the lights are out, because powers will be out. As a matter of fact, I should be making some videos if I can get to it on what they're talking about now. Like here, where I'm at in Florida, they're saying we're having a drought, so they want us to use less water and things like that. That the pressure is going to be very low between I think 5 and 9 a.m. I'm looking at New York. I'm looking at Louisiana. A couple of people have said that they're going to be cutting the power off for so many hours a day. So with that being said, think about candles, think about flashlights, think about things for lights. Again, I'll put the link because I found so much cool stuff. I was in a little group and on my Patreon at the time, and me and the girls, we were getting all kinds of stuff. So we was telling each other about all this stuff we was getting. And it was these lights that you can get, guys, and you don't need electricity for it. You just literally, when you buy this thing, and back then it was only like $10 to get 4 lights, and you can put it in any light outlet and it'll work. It was, I don't know, it was amazing. Or you don't have to put it in a light outlet. It had a little adapter thingy, and you just put it in there, and the light bulb would just come on. So you can get something like that. It's some really cool stuff that they put me on. I put them on. But yeah, so you're gonna need stuff for lights. Okay, if you get candles, make sure you get lighters, matches, things like that. That goes with it. Another big thing that he told me was walkie-talkies. Get walkie-talkies. So with walkie-talkies, make sure that you get, because I got some that was for around the house for just me and the people that's around the house. So I got some, I think it was like 10 or 15 miles. Then I got some like 40 miles for just in case, we far from each other, right? But we, different sides of towns or whatever, but it can go about 40 miles. So when you go and look up walkie-talkies, depending on your lifestyle, your family, whoever's important to you, friends, whatever, everybody having a walkie-talkie and how that works, how walkie-talkies. Make sure you have a lot of batteries. Okay, make sure you have a lot of batteries, all right? Because you're gonna work without the batteries. I'm trying to think. Another thing he told me to get was, like, is it Faraday? 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 Basically, something for because he told me my computer protect my hard drives because I have external hard drives as well as the computer itself, but to protect hard drives with this, I might have to put the down below. I can't think what it is, but it looks like aluminum foil or some type of thing. They said NASA created this material. And anyways, you put your phones. I put cell phones in it. I had got some new cell phones. They were old, but some throwback cell phones, and put them in there for protection. And I'm guessing an EMP or something gonna happen. I don't know, guys, because thinking, why is he saying to get something to protect the information, my data? You see what I'm saying? And to protect the cell phones and stuff. And the only thing I can think of is EMP. But if you think of something else that could possibly, correct those things, then let me know. So, if you have those hard drive sticks, whatever, then yeah, you're gonna need one of those Faraday things or whatever. Again, if you remember, try to put the link down below to some of this stuff. Most of the stuff I did get off of Amazon. Mm, What else? Oh gosh, guys, basically whatever your lifestyle is, you have pets, you need to make sure they're comfortable. You have kids, you need to make sure they're comfortable. You need to make sure that your maybe elderly parents are comfortable. With whatever that means. Make sure you have plenty of blankets, sheets, make sure that you have things to cover your windows with just in case you don't want nobody to know you at home. Make sure that you have protection of all types of kind. If you like pepper spray, hey, pepper spray it is. If you like to have a fence, hey, a fence it is. If you think a dog is good, a guard dog, hey, get a guard dog. If you think that Smith and Wesson need to be living up off in the crib, okay, yeah, Smith and Wesson need to be up off in the crib. And again, learn how to use your Smith into your Wesson. Okay, and I ain't talking about the oil. Excuse me. If you want to learn how to do some jujitsu, hey, I'm telling you, karate, some type of defense courses or defense classes. And I know you might think, oh, you're going overboard, like you just doing too. I'm telling you, when it comes to survival mode, y'all better look at the movies where them people, The Walking Dead, and you better look at the movies where people all of a sudden something happened, and yeah, people get into survival mode quick. And I'm gonna tell you what people around here done told me. Face, I'm gonna just rob somebody. They said, I'm going to just rob somebody. Why I'm gonna go and do all of this and do all of that, but I'm gonna prep for 'em. I'm just gonna rob somebody. So that's the mentality of what you working around with here. Okay, so you need not to tell nobody what you doing or what you got going on unless they doing the same thing and y'all gonna be in the same place at the same time, because you can't trust no family, no friends, can't trust nobody. Gotta be like Kaya. Okay, don't trust no end, don't trust no creature, don't trust none of them. All right, don't trust nobody. Okay. Um, y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm saying. These false preachers and prophets. Okay. Not the real ones. Okay. Um, okay. So I don't know why, but tents, yes. We'll go with tents, sleeping bags. Okay. I actually got the tents. Didn't get around to getting the sleeping bags, but I did get the tents. Okay. So I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Um, but that was something said to get. Okay. I thought maybe we'll end up having to leave home because of a situation that happened. Maybe you can't be in town for some reason. Maybe because people done got too crazy and chaotic. You got to go to the wilderness, to the woods, to some outskirts, to a camping ground. I done thought about the 3 days of darkness and how it's going to be super cold. Maybe you need to have a tent inside of your home, just for warmth and everybody get in there. Like everybody get in the living room. Look, I don't know. Get tents. Get a tent. Get a tent. Sleeping bag. Okay, I don't know. Make sure you, of course, get your sanitary stuff if you want to be, fresh and so clean, your deodorant and soaps and things like that, the stuff that the girlies need every month, you know, stuff like that, baking soda. Go back to some old school stuff, where you're using stuff to clean with like maybe baking soda or vinegars and stuff like that, because just in case, the bleach is too much money. Maybe you can use something else, ammonia. Even though ammonia, I don't think it disinfects or can cleans. I don't think it disinfects, but I know vinegar does disinfect to a certain degree. It's not bleach now. Don't get it twisted. Okay. But there are some products out there that does disinfect and will help to a certain point. Okay. So make sure you get things like that. Like I said, your everyday thing. Listen, just look at it like this, right? Stuff that you need every day is going to be super high. You may lose your job. And if you lose your job, at least you'll have these things on hand. Hopefully you already have something saved up where in which if you do lose your job, that you have 3, 6 months, a year or more to be able to still pay bills, maybe cut back on some things, on that cable bill, on that Netflix bill, but you'll be able to still be able to have food, shelter, clothing, the basics, right? Um, fast. Something that will help. Well, of course, besides your spiritual fast, is learning to fast. Cutting back on meals, something that I did instead of eating 3 to 6 meals a day. Yes, when I'm trying to lose weight, I eat 5 to 6 meals a day. It might sound like a lot, but it's not. Because what it is like a piece of bread and an egg in the morning. And then 3 hours later, grapes and cheese. And then lunch is a salad with some chicken breasts. And then, right, but it speeds up the metabolism. So when you eat more meals, but healthier meals in small portions, then I notice it helped me lose weight, right? But when I'm just eating regular and I'm not really on no diet, I'll do my little 3 meals a day, cut down on that to 2 meals a day, cutting down sometimes 1 meal a day, but mostly 2 meals a day. But my goal is 1 meal a day. And then I also want to be able to fast a whole day with nothing but water, right? And right. And so wherever you're at, start cutting down to eating less, because then you'll be able to preserve more when this famine does come, when it hits. Okay. Hopefully you won't be in a situation where you have to ration things out and things and such like, but we don't know how long this is gonna last. All right. But what I do know is if you were preparing since the Most High gave me this information in 2021, you should have no issues right now. Like you should be eating like kings and queens whenever whatever is going to go down goes down. Because you probably got 2, 3 garages full of stuff, barns just full of stuff. Like I kid you not, because you just don't realize how adding an extra 4 or 5 cans to your regular grocery menu, or an extra thing of water every 2 weeks, an extra gallon of water every 2 weeks, extra every two, like you don't know how much it adds up. A little extra bar of soap once every 2 weeks or once a week, a extra Dawn, a extra bleach once a month. Right? That stuff, it would have added up from 2021, and so now we're in 2026, 5 years. And so the reason why he tells us to prepare, he told Noah 100 and something years before the flood came, he told him to start preparing, start building that ark. It is a reason. We have been shouting and screaming alarm, and I'm sure people before me has been shouting and telling this thing, and even people after me. And people that abide it, because I know some people, one particular pastor, he went and got land 20, 25 years ago, and he always talk about how he went and got that land because he knew that this day was coming. And I remember I was listening to him when I was in witchcraft. I wasn't even, and doing nothing about the Most High Yah. I would listen to him and how he would talk about how to build your own house. Don't buy these houses from these people. You go, you buy you a piece of land and you build your own house. He put videos up on how to build your own house, wire it, all of this stuff. He would even go to other cities, other states, and help people build on their land. Him and his I'm gonna say his crew, but you know what I'm saying. And the man just he knew, and now it's like a community of people there. And people call them cults. I mean, do what you want, but it's a community there, and the women, they grow the gardens. The gardens are beautiful. They have healthy food. They have grass-fed animals. They feed their own animals, butcher them. So they have clean, fresh meat, the cleanest that they can do and make. You can't control the rain, but all of that. They have the kids section. It's like a little community of their own, and they don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to worry about is paying the property taxes, and that's it. Everything is owned and bought, and so this thing goes real deep of how you can prepare. So if you can go that deep to buy your own land, I even was going as deep. I was calling around asking about well water, having people come and put a well in the backyard for me. I'm so glad I didn't do that, especially after what that landlord did. But anyways, you can have somebody come and install a well into your on your property or whatnot, right? And so, but yeah, this can, as far as preparing, you can get as deep as you want to get with this thing. Get you a cabin in the woods somewhere in North Carolina. But ain't nobody gonna be up off in the mountains bothering with you, messing with you. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? But let's at least start with the basics with food, water, and medication. And then savings, getting silver, gold, building up from there, um, protection and such like and so forth. So, anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for there. That's a good basics. Um, I do have a list of stuff, and I could see if I could drop it down in the link below. It might not be ready by the time I post this video, but probably in the next week or so, I'll have it up because I already started working on a list for prepping. And you can just print it out or whatever. But anyways, yes, get ready. Don't be left behind. He warns us, guys. He warns us because he knows judgment is coming, and we are here. Remember, we are sheep around a bunch of ravenous wolves. Okay, I send you as sheep in this world. Okay, so a bunch of wolves, a bunch of snakes around here, and these wolves and snakes is about to be judged. And because of that, you're going to see a lot of things go down, and you may be affected a little bit, but let's not be affected a lot. That's why he's our father. He loves us. He warns us. He prepares us. He tells us what to do. So we shall not have a spirit of fear, okay? But of power, of love, and of a sound mind, because that is what he said. That is what he gave us. There is no spirit of fear. Okay, this is just okay. You know that something's going to go down. You might not know the day, but let's prepare for it. It's kind of like your soul. You know, one day you're going to go to the other side, right? No matter what you believe, if you believe you go to the other side and you go to heaven or hell, or you don't believe in either one, you think it's just all black, you know, one day you're going to the other side. So it's smart to prepare for that day. Whether that means getting insurance policies on the wife, on the husband, on the children, whether that means getting insurance policy on yourself, making sure everybody's taken care of, whether that means going to make sure that you go and get a burial, so you have the perfect, funeral that you want to have. And I'm talking physical things, but what about spiritual? Preparing your soul, right? You can make the will out and say, okay, I want the wife to have this. I want the kids to have that. I want the husband to have this and that when I pass, get the car and the jewelry and the this and the that and the bank. You know what's going to happen one day. So you're going to prepare. You got to prepare for your soul too, no matter what you believe in. But of course, I'm going to tell you that you need to repent. You need to turn over to the Most High Yah and his son, Yahushua, because there is no way to the Father without going through his son. For he is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one goes through to him but through Yahusha, which some people call Jesus. Okay. So repentance of your sins, for the kingdom is at hand. The kingdom, your soul is at hand, where you're going to be at for the rest of your life. Life that comes, the real life after this, like the real life that turns on when you turn off. That's what's at hand. Okay. So you want to repent, have an intimate relationship with the Most High Yah, so He can lead and direct you and guide you and tell you what you need to do, not only spiritually, but physically as well. He cares about your physicalness. Why do you think He tells us these things? Okay. And He's telling you too. I'm telling you, a lot of people hear him speaking, but don't know it's him speaking. That's why I try to tell you, listen, this is how he speaks to me. Because I know he's speaking to you guys like this too. I know he's using music. I know he's using songs. I know he's using thoughts. I know he's using dreams. I know he's using visions. I know that he's using feelings. I know he's using these things to speak to you. And you're ignoring it, or you're not woke, or you got so much sin going on that you can't, your conscience is seared, or maybe you're not eating the right things, maybe you need a good fast, or it's different things that's blocking you. I got a book all about it, okay, on why he blocks, why you're blocked from hearing the voice of the Most High Yah. If you want to check it out, check out the link in the description and one of these sections around here below, why you are blocked and how you can hear his voice. It's called Intimacy with the King. Okay. So anyways, with that, thanks so much for checking out the video, y'all. Click all the buttons to like and share and subscribe and all the things and the posts and and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Shalom.